We did not go on strike for integration. I want to make that clear. We did not go on strike for integration. We went on strike for a new building. If the power structure had given us a new building, I would not be sitting here talking to you right now. I would not have been a part of Brown versus Board of Education. I grew up in Prince Edward County, Virginia, and during my early years, I realized that there was a deficiency in regards to equality. When I got ready to go into high school, I realized that we were still being programmed for failure by virtue of the fact that instead of them putting up a new building for the students, they put up 3 tar paper shacks. They didn't have central heat. They had potbelly stoves. It rained in a lot of them. We had to use books that were hand-me-down books, and they had writings in there that were not pleasant for color folk to read. We weren't called black then, we were called colored or Negro. And so we knew that things were not right. We knew that under Plessy versus Ferguson, it said separate but equal, but it was everything except being equal. They had cafeterias, they had gymnasiums. We had none of those facilities in our school. We saw that we were being cheated of an education, and we decided that we would do something about it. We decided that we would go on strike on the 23rd of April, 1951. That was the beginning of a movement that changed the whole concept of Plessy versus Ferguson. There were 5 cases in Brown: Delaware, Washington, D.C., Clarendon, South Carolina, Topeka, Kansas, and one small town called Prince Edward County, Virginia. And our case was Davis versus Prince Edward County. Our case joined the other 4 cases, and our case was the only case that was student-led, and I'm proud to have been one of those students. When the Supreme Court decision was rendered, I was in the Army. I was serving at Fort Belvoir at the time. The guys were screaming and hollering, jumping up and down, shouting, and partying and everything. Say, "Hey, Stokes, you're mighty quiet." I said, "The war has just begun, fellas." I told them, I said, hell, it's going to break loose now. The powers that be had workshops to teach people how to get around integration. And they drove down. People flew up from the South to have workshops as to how to get around this thing. Schools were closed from 59 through 64. They shut the schools down rather than to integrate. They shut it down. Now, what happened to the students? Many of them never got an education, white or black. I started talking about Brown versus Board of Education in the latter part of 1997, 1998, something like that. And once I started talking, I felt relieved. I felt a relief in knowing that truths were coming out and people had questions in their minds that I never imagined that they would have. Students are much stronger and much better than we give them credit for being. Kids are very wise today. And I say to students, no matter where you are and what you do, look not at the face or the color of a person's skin, but look for that heart which is deep within. The face and the skin will one day fade away, but the deeds of a good person will never decay.